Good morning. It is day 7 of Vlogtober. I am running quite late, actually, like almost an hour late. We ended up sleeping in. Eleanor was up a bunch of times last night. The whole family has gotten we're on the tail end of mild colds. I think we all tested negative for COVID, and most of the time we wear our masks anyway. So it's been kind of funky, but that's all right. Thank you so much to everyone for your lovely comments on my day 5 vlog when I was just being a grumpy goose. I really appreciate it. Hopefully today is not a grumpy day. And I was still upset yesterday, so it was a good thing that I did not vlog yesterday, and it was Chaley's vlog. I was still grumpy because of, sorry, I have new neighbors, which if you're watching Vlogtober, you've seen this house that I walk by every day get renovated. It actually sold in August, and we have new neighbors, so that's really exciting. I haven't met them yet. They were vacuuming. So I was still upset about the MKAL last night. Talked to Chaley a bit, cried a little bit, and now I'm better. I think I just had to commit to doing the new design and being okay with the new design and being okay with starting over, which I do all the time when I'm knitting. And I mean, I tore apart a section of my haunted house MKAL, and that didn't make me want to cry. That just made me annoyed because I picked a not great color, and that was my own doing. So I think what I was most upset about was it didn't feel like it was my choice to redo it. It felt like I had to redo it. And it felt like something I hadn't gotten into. Versus like when I'm doing a test knit and the designer's like, oh shoot, this thing happened. And I'm like, oh God, I gotta redo it. But you kind of accept that going into a test knit, that there might be errors or there might be redos or that kind of thing. And I think it was just because it wasn't even the mistake that was the issue for me. It was the fact that I wasn't getting the experience that I thought I was. But then Chaley helped me talk about it. She's a counselor. She's a admissions counselor. She's like, reflect on that. I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm better now. I've started again, and I didn't keep up last time with the twists and turns, and that didn't really bother me. I mean, as we call them, the slugs were horrendous, but that was fine. I successfully tore out my stripe 4 of the haunted house MKAL because I didn't like the way the blue looked. I picked up the stitches on both sides, tore out the middle section, re-knit the broom stitch section, and then I thought about Kitchenering it together, and I was like, absolutely not. So I 3-needle bind offed section 4 and 5 together. And then I finished section 6, which were these little eyeballs, which I had to rip out too because variegated does not go good with color work unless it's an extreme contrast. And then today's thingy is for clue our pumpkins. So I'm going to do white pumpkins, kind of like Cinderella pumpkins. So I think those are going to be great. I'm excited for that. Back on track with that. Oh, I should say what I did end up deciding for my Stephen West MKAL is I'm going to do the Pink Queen Yarns variation. It's like the stripes. It's like the concentric squares, but knit in 4 triangles instead of in the round. Because as I told Chaley, I ain't purling. Get thee behind me, Satan. I ain't purling. Not that many stitches. I ain't purling 340 stitches. No. Not doing that. Stephen West is a paid for pattern, but it is out there that the first clue ends with 340 stitches. It's pretty public knowledge at this point. So, I'm not doing that. Plus, I don't like the pinhole cast on, even though my sister's trying to convince me into it. But no. Nope. If you do the Pink Queen Yarns version of the MKAL, you do have to kind of join together. It's a join as you go method, but there's no purling, kids. So I'm not doing. So I ain't purling. No. I'm still working on the sock swap socks with Chaley. That's my on the go knitting, and those are my 3 projects. that's all. I really do need to start my test knit. I think I'm going to start my test knit today. Come hell or high water. What else are we doing? Swim lessons again today, and then haircut for Lottie. And then tomorrow I see my dad and sister, and we are going to Dixon Lambtown, which I'm excited for. I'm less excited for because it's currently going to be 98 degrees in San Jose today. And Dixon is kind of more in the middle of the state of California, and it tends to be even hotter there. So I'm like, holy Batman, I don't want to do that, but it's fine. We'll embrace the heat. It's October, and everyone on the East Coast is like, sweater weather! And I'm like, ugh, it's literally gonna be 98 degrees. It was 106 yesterday. This is degrees Fahrenheit. I was like, ooh, this is not sweater weather. This is tank top weather. Sorry. Dogs in my neighborhood. They're barkers. Anyway, gotta go ride before it gets even hotter. Back from my morning run. It got really hot really fast. So I think I went about 2 miles, and now I'm home. But I did want to shout out another YouTube vlogger, which is Megan of Penny Moons, who I've been watching every day while I work out, and she is posting every day through Vlogtober. I love her vlogs. They're like the perfect amount. They're like 22, 23 minutes long, so they're a good workout time. She lives in New England, so it's really, she's got great spooky vibes. So I love watching Megan. So you should do that too if you're looking for a daily vlog. Hers is great. So you should go head over to her channel, subscribe, so you can get all her spooky vibes for the month. Because I'm grouchy sometimes, not spooky. I've done nothing spooky, just grouchy. Alright, this is my first Renaissance Fair costume. It's pretty wrinkled and basically really short. I don't know what I was doing. We're gonna try on another one, see how it goes. Okay, this is my other costume option. I think this one is better because the skirt is longer. Still needs to be ironed. And I don't know if I like this bit where you can see the skirt gather. But I don't know. I think this is better. Plus size still fits, don't have to make a new costume. Look at the black cat, Watts. I like the black cat. Mm-hmm. All right, it is almost 8 o'clock. I've done many sewing projects today. That's my child shouting for water. That's my husband getting her water. Let's see, we went to Joann. We picked up the ribbon that I needed for the Renaissance Fair costumes. I finished Lenny's Catherine Parr costume. She's been Catherine Parr from the musical 6. I finished Lenny's Renaissance Fair dress, and Lottie learned how to sew. So I will put some of the clips of that in. Oh, don't worry, I watched her. I set my sewing machine on slow setting. She was fine. Hands away from the moving parts. It was okay. But I'm pretty impressed with my almost 4-year-old for being able to sew. It's a little crooked, but you know, so is mine sometimes. Let's see. I'm still on triangle number 1 of 4 triangles on the Stephen West MKAL, and I have not touched the haunted house MKAL yet today. The clue is really cute. It's pumpkins. And I turned the heel and I'm in the gusset decreases for the sock. But that's about it. Tomorrow is Chaley's day. We are all headed to Dixon Lambtown, so it should be fun. All right, it's now 8:30 and I sat down to work on my haunted house MKAL and realized I did not want to knit on it and I did not like it at all. So I'm tearing the whole thing out. That's what I'm actually in the process of doing right now. Is I didn't want to pick it up, so I figured if I didn't want to knit on it, why was I knitting on it? My husband asked me, he's like, is this something you're knitting for someone else or that you have a deadline for? And I'm like, no. So why am I knitting something that I wasn't pleased with? Yeah, why was I knitting something I didn't like if for no other reason than I had committed to it? But yeah, so I ditched it. That's what this is. Yes, I did graft it together yesterday in an attempt to like it, but that didn't help with me liking it. So I'm tearing the whole thing out. I do like the pattern, and I think that was the problem, is that I really like the pattern. And that was the issue, because when I would see the pattern, I would like really like it and then want to, and then be jealous and sad that I liked other people's better than mine. So I went stash diving, which fortunately I have a lot of yarn stash. I went stash diving and found colors. Well, I looked at other people's first. So I looked at the spoiler thread because I'm already that deep into it. I looked at the spoiler thread and then kind of tried to like pick out the ones that I really liked. And I was like, well, maybe I should just try and match their colors. And so I did that. And I figured out that what I really like is I want my pumpkins to be orange. Like, I just want my pumpkins to be orange. And I really liked it when they were Halloween colors. So that's what I'm going to do. I am mad tangled in my yarn because I did ladder back jacquard and didn't really like pull it out in the best way I could have, I guess. So I'm probably going to spend the majority of tonight just untangling and not actual knitting, but I'm happier with where I am. So let me show you the colors that I've moved on to. So I got this cute little Rainbow Bright set from Pearls of Joy in Healdsburg, and these tiny little minis are absolutely not enough yarn. They are 10 grams, and I think the pattern calls for like 30. So I'm going to use all 6 of these. I'm also going to use this blue as a backup, this brighter blue to add in as well, this orange and this orange, and then I also have this white that I'm going to use, as well as this green if I absolutely have to. So I think it's going to be better. I think it's in a much better place. I'm much happier about it. There's not really a deadline on it other than, and I actually don't think there are that many people knitting it. It doesn't seem, I mean there are, but not to the level that the MKAL is being knit. So the fear of me seeing spoilers on this one is pretty low for me right now. Yeah, I'm not super worried about catching a bunch of spoilers on it or anything terrible like that. I just will not check Ravelry because that seems to be where the majority of the discussion and the spoilers for this MKAL are. Like, I haven't seen anyone else on Instagram knitting it. So if I'm like scrolling through Instagram, I'm not really concerned that I'm accidentally going to see it or something like that. Even if they do, I'm okay with that. I really like the design. I like the designer. I like the pattern. I just didn't like my colors, and that's my own doing, because I absolutely did not listen to what the designer told me. She was like, pick your colors ahead of time. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna do a mystery. No, it was a terrible plan. My plan was horrible. I should not have done that. So that is what I have learned, that was a terrible plan. I should not do that plan again. I think that was something in my shower falling down, if you heard that crash. So I'm going to unscape. I'm going to unravel all this yarn, get it organized, hopefully restart clue 1. But here's the thing. This is a 13-day clue. This is, yeah, it's a 13-day thingamajiggy. But it's okay because I really want to wear it on Halloween. And it gives me plenty of time, right? So even though I'm behind, I could still swing it for Halloween. Also, today it was 98 degrees. So I don't know why I think I'm gonna be wearing a cowl in October in California. So it's not like, yeah, it's not like I'm missing out on it because it's Halloween and spooky time all the time. It's gonna be fine. I feel much better about this now. I'm much more excited for the whole situation and my whole plan. I think it's gonna be great, but I am bummed. I did spend a decent amount of time knitting this, but I'm very excited to start with my new colors because I think they're gonna be super fun. And I'm gonna do what the designer told me this time and actually, what's it called? Actually write down and plan out which color should be which. It's almost like you should listen to the designer when you knit their things that they've designed. It's almost like they know better than you do because you did not design it and you have not seen what the whole thing looks like. So yeah, that's the new plan. But I'm gonna keep winding all this stuff up. I will hopefully be organized enough to at least start clue 1. I do feel better though that I've knit it once before, so I feel like I know more, right? Like I know, even when I reknit this broomstick lace thing, I knit it faster, way faster the second time because I kind of knew what I was doing and it was not so like unsure for me on what I was doing. And actually the first 3 clues, I actually really loved them. They were super fun to knit, they were quick. And my colors were working then, I think is what happened. And then they kind of stopped working and kind of devolved. And then they weren't working anymore. And then that made me sad. And then I got mopey. And then I had my grouchy day, which apparently is more interesting than our regular days, which is true, I guess, right? So there's that as well. And then I'm back on track. I know what I want to do for the MKAL. I know what I want to do for the haunted house. Yeah, oh my God, Gabs, you cast off. You fool. I thought I forgot. I did the 3 needle bind. I mean, I know I did it, but oh my God. Now I have to pull out. What now? You did what now? Okay, it's fine. I'm not grouchy on the vlog again. I'm not. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This is just another learning opportunity for growth. Sorry, I figured it out. I forgot. I didn't realize that's what happened with the 3 needle bind off, was that I could unravel half of the legs of the bind off, but not the other. I don't know, it was weird. Oh, I remember what I did, because I had to join at the other wrong end of it. Okay, I got it. Now we're back. Now we're cooking with gas. I got it. Okay. This is very strange to me. I've been talking to the camera by myself for a very long time. However, I can talk forever at my husband. That's him clicking in the background while he's working. I can talk at him and he just says things like, yeah. See, that doesn't feel strange. But this feels strange because nobody is and yaing back at me. So I texted Shaylee. I told her that I tore out the whole MKAL. But I'm very excited for this next start. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to also be way brighter and way more my speed. And I will get to use up some of these minis that I did not know what I wanted to do with them. So there's that as well. Yeah, I think you sometimes just gotta let it go when things aren't working out. Maybe there's a reason that they're not working out. have now chattered at you for 10 minutes. My vlog that I told Shaylee was only like 4 minutes long is now going to be a 20-minute long vlog because I've had a late night epiphany on how I want to proceed for this haunted house MKAL. Thus, thank you so much for sticking with me. This will actually be my last sign off, and I will see you again on Monday. You'll actually probably see me on Shaylee's vlog tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you again on Monday with hopefully a decently more caught up cow.